There is a giant raft of volcanic rocks drifting through the Pacific Ocean.
This is video you have to see to believe too. Some experts think the floating mass could actually help restore the Great Barrier Reef.
The ocean, a realm of unfathomable mystery, holds secrets far beyond our grasp.
Spotted by NASA satellites, is the result of an underwater volcanic eruption.
Yet, every so often, the depths reveal something extraordinary, something inexplicable. Beyond the familiar fish, the ocean's abyss has yielded bizarre creatures. Undiscovered species, and even illicit treasures. Join us as we show you the most interesting and unbelievable underwater finds. Number 20, a fishy fusion. The ocean's depths often yield unexpected treasures, but few compare to the remarkable find of fisherman Debbie during a recent expedition. Her fishing line brought up more than just the typical aquatic fare.
My name is Debbie Hansen. I'm an outdoor writer and freshwater fishing guide who feels incredibly blessed to live here.
It revealed a biological anomaly that left her speechless. Debbie's catch featured two fish inexplicably joined together, showcasing nature's capacity for creating singular, awe-inspiring phenomena. The conjoined twins, each fully formed yet inextricably linked, swam in perfect unison, their movements graceful and coordinated, despite their unusual anatomy. Debbie, a seasoned angler with decades of experience, had never encountered anything like this before. She knew instinctively that she had stumbled upon something truly remarkable, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that would captivate the minds and imaginations of all who beheld it. Determined to share this wonder with the world, Debbie made the decision to keep the conjoined fishes alive, carefully transferring them to a specially designed tank in her own marine museum. Number 19, sailing through stone. August 2019 brought an unexpected twist to what should have been a typical sailing trip for Australians Michael Boll and Lissa Brill.
First we thought that it was whale poop, but then it became obvious.
As they navigated their catamaran through the expansive South Pacific waters toward Fiji, they encountered a phenomenon that seemed to defy nature itself. Their journey took a surreal turn when they came face to face with an enormous pumice raft.
Pumice stones, that is, floating toward Australia, could help restore parts of the Great Barrier Reef.
Resembling a bizarre floating island amidst the ocean's vastness, the pumice raft, which measured an astonishing 1,600 feet in length, was a product of a recent underwater volcanic eruption.
Spotted by NASA satellites, is the result of an underwater volcanic eruption,
which had sent millions of tons of the lightweight, porous rock bobbing to the surface. As Michael and Lissa sailed closer, they were struck by the sheer scale of the phenomenon, with pumice stones ranging in size from tiny marbles to boulders the size of basketballs. Navigating through the raft was no easy feat, as the stones created a dense, uneven surface that threatened to slow their progress to a crawl. The sailors had to use all their skill and expertise to pick their way through the maze of pumice, the hull of their catamaran scraping and bumping against the jagged edges of the stones. Number 18, the bloodthirsty beauty. Off the coast of Mexico, in the Caribbean's turquoise waters,
triggerfish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Triggerfish are common over the wrecks in deep structure 10 to 30 miles out into the Gulf.
Fishermen encountered a marine oddity that defied expectations. Their catch included a toothed triggerfish, typically unremarkable despite its powerful crushing jaws. However, this specimen boasted a nightmarish feature: blood-red, dagger-like fangs protruding menacingly from its mouth, evoking images of an aquatic vampire ready to feast. The fishermen, who had spent decades navigating the waters of the Caribbean, were stunned by the triggerfish's unnerving appearance. Its threatening scarlet teeth stood in stark contrast to its dark, mottled skin, creating a visual spectacle that was both mesmerizing and unsettling. Toothed triggerfish are notorious for their aggressive behavior and powerful jaws, which they use to crack open the tough shells of crustaceans and mollusks. Their unique dental arrangement, with teeth that protrude outward even when their mouths are closed, allows them to maintain a firm grasp on their prey as they crush and grind it into submission. Number 17, the deep sea glutton. Deep in the ocean's murky abyss, a peculiar predator patiently waits. The gulper eel, with its massive, expandable mouth and elongated body, embodies the marvels of deep sea adaptation. This remarkable creature can engulf prey significantly larger than itself in one astonishing swallow.
What?
I thought it's like the gill archer, the gill.
Making it a formidable hunter in the lightless depths. Measuring up to 3 feet long, the gulper eel is a master of the art of ambush hunting. It spends much of its time motionless in the water column, its long, thin body almost invisible against the blackness of the abyss. But when an unsuspecting fish or squid swims too close, the gulper eel springs into action, its massive jaws unhinging to engulf its prey whole. What makes the gulper eel truly remarkable is the size of its stomach, which can stretch to accommodate prey up to twice its own size. Once its victim is securely trapped within its jaws, the gulper eel uses its powerful throat muscles to push the prey down into its expanding belly, where it is slowly digested over time. Despite its fearsome reputation, the gulper eel is a relatively peaceful creature, preferring to avoid confrontation whenever possible. Its jet black skin and long, slender body allow it to blend seamlessly into the darkness of the deep sea, making it all but invisible to both predators and prey alike. Number 16, the tongue snatcher. Off the coast of South Africa, near the treacherous waters of Cape Agulhas, a fisherman named Don Marks made a horrifying discovery that would haunt his dreams for years to come. While out on a routine fishing trip, Don reeled in a sizable red snapper, weighing in at an impressive 6.6 pounds. But as he went to remove the hook from the fish's mouth, he noticed something strange and unsettling lurking inside. Where the fish's tongue should have been, Don instead found a grotesque, pulsating mass of flesh with beady black eyes and spindly legs that twitched and writhed in the sunlight. Horrified, Don quickly snapped a photo of the bizarre creature and sent it off to his friend, marine biologist Nico Smit, hoping for some kind of explanation. What Nico told him was more shocking than the discovery itself. The creature inside the fish's mouth was a type of parasitic isopod, a distant relative of crabs and shrimp that had evolved to live inside the bodies of other animals. These tongue-eating lice, as they are sometimes called, attach themselves to the tongues of fish and slowly devour the organ over time, replacing it with their own bodies.
Of a fish's mouth where it ate its tongue. Researchers at Rice University found the parasite while doing scans of fish skulls.
The process is as gruesome as it is fascinating. The parasite enters the fish's body through its gills and makes its way to the tongue, where it latches on with its sharp claws and powerful jaws. Over time, it feeds on the tongue's blood supply, causing it to atrophy and wither away. As the tongue shrinks, the parasite grows, eventually taking its place entirely. Number 15, the mystery of flight, MH370, the mysterious disappearance of Malaysian Airlines. Flight 370 stands as one of aviation's most baffling incidents. On March 8, 2014, the Boeing 777 aircraft vanished mid-flight.
It's all consistent with somebody who wanted to simply vanish from the face of the earth and make sure that the ultimate crash site was never found.
Carrying 239 souls aboard. Its last known location was somewhere over the southern Indian Ocean, sparking a massive multinational search operation. Despite years of effort and advanced technology, the plane's fate remains unknown.
MH370 lost contact with Subang Air Traffic Control this morning.
Leaving the world puzzled and captivated by this modern mystery. But for one retired Australian fisherman, the mystery of MH370 took on a deeply personal significance. Kib Olver, a veteran angler with decades of experience navigating the treacherous waters off the coast of Western Australia, claimed to have made a startling discovery in the months following the plane's disappearance. According to Olver, he was out on a routine fishing trip in September or October of 2014, trolling the waters near the town of Augusta, when his net suddenly snagged on a large, heavy object. As he struggled to haul it up, he realized that he had caught something far more significant than a mere fish or a piece of driftwood. It was, he claimed, a massive piece of an airplane wing, measuring several meters in length and width. He carefully noted the coordinates of his find and contacted the Australian Maritime Safety Authority, eager to share his find with authorities. But to Olver's shock and dismay, his report was met with skepticism and dismissal. The authorities suggested that the object he had found was likely nothing more than a piece of a shipping container, and declined to investigate further. Olver, however, remained convinced that he had uncovered a vital clue in the search for MH370. Number 14, the Fire of St. Elmo. For centuries, sailors have told tales of a mysterious and ethereal phenomenon that appears during storms and high seas, dancing across the masts and rigging of ships like ghostly blue flames. This eerie light show, known as St. Elmo's Fire, has long been associated with the patron saint of sailors, who is said to have appeared to a group of struggling seafarers during a particularly violent storm. Despite its otherworldly appearance, St. Elmo's Fire is not actually a form of fire at all, but rather a type of electrical discharge that occurs when the atmosphere becomes highly charged with static electricity.
It might look like lightning, but it's not. It's St. Elmo's Fire. And tonight, that rare electric event is our moment.
During storms and other turbulent weather conditions, the air can become so saturated with ions that it begins to glow, creating the shimmering blue light that has captured the imaginations of sailors for generations. The phenomenon is most commonly seen on the tips of pointed objects, such as ship masts, antennas, and even the horns of cattle. It is often accompanied by a faint hissing or buzzing sound, which can be unnerving to those who are not familiar with its cause. Despite its association with danger and storms, St. Elmo's Fire is actually harmless and poses no threat to those who witness it. In fact, many sailors have come to see it as a sign of good luck, believing that it is a reminder of the presence of their patron saint watching over them in their time of need. Number 13, messages in bottles. For most people, a walk along the beach is a chance to enjoy the sun, the surf, and the sand. But for Wim, a dedicated beachcomber from the Netherlands, it's an opportunity to uncover hidden treasures and mysteries from across the globe. Over the past 34 years, Wim has amassed an incredible collection of more than 1,200 messages in bottles.
This one lurks in a murky old bottle. So old, it's remarkable that it's still in one piece.
Each one a tiny capsule of history and human connection. Wim's passion for beachcombing began in 1983 when he stumbled upon 3 bottles washed up on the shore of his hometown of Zonmare. Inside each bottle was a letter, carefully written and sealed, with a return address and a plea for a response. Intrigued by this romantic and old-fashioned form of communication, Wim decided to write back to each sender, sparking a lifelong obsession with messages in bottles. Since then, Wim has scoured the beaches of the Netherlands and beyond, always on the lookout for that telltale glint of glass among the driftwood and seashells. His collection spans decades and continents, with messages from as far afield as Japan, Australia, and the United States. Number 12, the ghost ship. The mystery of the Carol Adering has endured for over a century, a ghostly enigma that has captivated the imaginations of sailors, historians, and conspiracy theorists alike. The story began on a cold January day in 1921, when the 5-masted schooner was found run aground on the treacherous shoals of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. The ship was a sight to behold, its sails torn and flapping in the wind, its decks abandoned and empty. But it was what was missing from the Carol Adering that would soon capture the world's attention. When the Coast Guard arrived to investigate the derelict vessel, they found no trace of the ship's crew, the captain's log, the crew's personal belongings, and even the ship's navigational equipment had vanished as if the entire complement of 11 men had simply disappeared into thin air. The galley was stocked with food, the crew's quarters were in order, and there were no signs of struggle or violence. It was as if the crew had simply stepped off the ship and into oblivion. Theories about the fate of Carol Adering's crew soon began to swirl, each one more fantastical than the last. Some believed that the men had been victims of piracy, their bodies dumped overboard and their possessions stolen by ruthless raiders. Others speculated that the crew had fallen victim to a mutiny, with one or more of their own turning against them in a bloody struggle for control of the ship. Number 11, the colossal catch. Beneath the icy surface of Antarctica's Ross Sea, a crew of intrepid fishermen stumbled upon a creature of mythical proportions. The year was 2007, and as they hauled in their nets, anticipating the usual catch of Antarctic toothfish, they were stunned to discover something far more extraordinary. A colossal squid, the largest of its kind ever captured alive on camera. This behemoth of the deep, with its massive tentacled body and eyes the size of dinner plates, measured an astonishing 33 feet in length and weighed in at a staggering 1,100 pounds. It was a sight that left even the most seasoned fishermen in awe, a creature that seemed to have swum straight out of a Jules Verne novel. Leading the crew was Dr. Steve O'Shea, a renowned marine biologist who had dedicated his career to the study of these elusive giants.
The more you deal with dead animals, the more you want to learn about the live animals.
The capture of the colossal squid was a momentous occasion for the team. a chance to study one of the ocean's most mysterious and least understood creatures up close. With its powerful beak and razor-sharp hooks, the colossal squid is a formidable predator, capable of taking on even the largest of whales in the depths of the Southern Ocean. Number 10. The cocaine conundrum. Off the coast of South Carolina, two fishermen faced a moral dilemma of epic proportions. As they hauled in their nets, expecting a bountiful catch of mahi-mahi, they instead discovered something far more sinister: dozens of bricks of pure, uncut cocaine. The sight of the white powder, neatly wrapped and gleaming in the sun, was enough to make even the most honest of men pause. With each brick weighing in at a kilo and worth thousands on the street, the fishermen knew they were sitting on a fortune.
These men thought they made the catch of a lifetime, but boy, were they surprised.
A temptation that would give even the most law-abiding citizen pause. But as they stared at the illicit cargo, the weight of their discovery began to sink in. They knew the risks of keeping the drugs, the criminal liability, and the dangers of crossing the cartels. They also knew the good they could do with the money, the lives they could change, and the dreams they could fulfill. In the end, however, their moral compass won out. With heavy hearts and shaking hands, they steered their boat towards the nearest Coast Guard station, ready to turn over their unexpected catch and face the consequences of their actions. Number 9. The Castle of Fire. Deep beneath the icy waters of the Atlantic Ocean, between the frozen shores of Greenland and Norway, lies a hidden wonder that defies the imagination. Discovered in 2018 by a team of intrepid researchers, Loki's Castle is a field of 5 active hydrothermal springs, a place where the Earth's molten core meets the crushing pressure of the deep sea. As the researchers descended into the depths in their submersible,
there it is. Wow. The iconic structure of oceanography.
They were greeted by a sight that seemed to belong to another world. Rising from the seafloor were towering structures of rock and mineral, each one crowned with a plume of boiling water that spewed forth from the Earth's core. These volcanic vents, known as black smokers, are among the most extreme environments on the planet, with temperatures that can reach up to 572 degrees Fahrenheit. And yet, despite the hellish conditions, Loki's Castle is home to a thriving ecosystem of strange and wondrous creatures. As the researchers explored the vents, they discovered 20 new species of animals, each one perfectly adapted to life in the crushing depths and searing heat of the hydrothermal springs. There were ghostly white crabs, their shells translucent in the dim light, and eels with glowing bioluminescent lures, ready to snatch up unwary prey. Number 8. Echoes of the Past. Beneath the rolling waves of the Pacific Ocean, a startling secret lay hidden for eons. In May 2012, Danish and German researchers plunged into the azure depths, their minds filled with questions about Earth's ancient past. Little did they know that their expedition would unearth a discovery so profound, it would shake the very foundations of our understanding of life's tenacity. There, nestled in the silent, pitch-black world of the deep-sea floor, they found something extraordinary. Microorganisms that had defied time itself, surviving for an astonishing 85 million years. These tiny creatures, no bigger than a speck of dust, had endured the unimaginable, living in a world without light, without food, and with barely any oxygen to sustain them. And yet, somehow, they had clung to life, waiting patiently in the sediment at the bottom of the ocean for their chance to be discovered. As the researchers studied the microorganisms, they realized that they were looking at a living time capsule, a glimpse into the very origins of life on our planet. These creatures had survived the extinction of the dinosaurs, the rise and fall of countless civilizations, and the endless march of time itself. Number 7. The starfish from the abyss. The tranquil waters near Singapore's shores held a surprise for a local fisherman, turning a routine fishing trip into an extraordinary encounter. As he hauled in his nets, amidst the familiar catch, a bizarre creature emerged from the depths. A creature with thin, gangly appendages and a luminescent body that pulsed with an ethereal glow in the dark sea. This was no ordinary marine life. It was a basket star.
Basket stars are echinoderms. Other echinoderms include starfish,
a rare and elusive inhabitant of the ocean's abyss. These enigmatic animals, distant relatives of the common starfish, exist in a world apart, their size and appearance a stark contrast to their familiar cousins. Some species of basket stars can grow to astonishing sizes, their arms stretching up to 3 feet in length, creating a mesmerizing spectacle with a total diameter exceeding 6 feet. Despite their impressive stature, they remain shrouded in mystery, clinging to rocks and other submerged structures in the deepest, darkest corners of the sea. Number 6. The Pearl of a Lifetime. A Filipino fisherman made a life-changing discovery in 2006 while diving for giant clams in the Palawan Sea. As he explored the crystal-clear waters, he spotted an unusual object hidden in the depths. At first, he thought it was just another clam, albeit a particularly large one. But as he swam closer, he realized that this was no ordinary shellfish. Nestled inside the clam's gaping maw was a pearl of such size and beauty that it took his breath away.
That's when he handed the pearl over to the local tourism office, who confirmed its value.
The fisherman knew he had stumbled upon something truly remarkable. The pearl was enormous, measuring a staggering 2.2 feet in length and weighing an incredible 75 pounds. And as he examined it more closely, he realized that this was no mere trinket, but a treasure of immense value and historical significance. Experts flocked to study the pearl in greater detail, marveling at its size, its beauty, and its incredible rarity. They soon discovered that this was no ordinary pearl, but a true freak of nature, a 1-in-a-million find that had taken centuries to form. The pearl was estimated to be over 600 years old, making it one of the oldest and most valuable pearls ever discovered. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. What they found in the ocean shocked the world. Scuba divers exploring the depths of Crystal Lake in Minnesota stumbled upon a chilling sight. Jason Voorhees, the iconic killer from Friday the 13th, chained to the lake bed. The diver, initially terrified, cautiously explored the area before returning to the surface. Research later revealed the figure to be a statue, a macabre art installation placed in the lake's depths. What are your thoughts on this underwater encounter? Let us know in the comments. Number 5. A relic from the deep. A group of Taiwanese fishermen recently made a remarkable discovery that left marine experts astounded. Their routine fishing expedition yielded an unexpected prize, a pregnant goblin shark measuring 15.5 feet in length. Known as a living fossil,
fishermen in northeastern Ilan recently found a huge surprise in their net.
This rare species has maintained its prehistoric appearance for over 100 million years. The goblin shark, with its distinctive elongated snout and protruding jaws lined with razor-sharp teeth, is a creature that seems to have swum straight out of the Cretaceous period. Its unique adaptations allow it to thrive in the deep, dark waters of the ocean, where it has managed to evade the evolutionary pressures that have shaped other species over the millennia. The Taiwan Ocean Museum, recognizing the significance of this incredible find,
a goblin shark,
quickly acquired the specimen for further study. Researchers marveled at the opportunity to examine a pregnant female up close, as the goblin shark's elusive nature and preference for deep-sea habitats make it notoriously difficult to study in the wild. As scientists delved deeper into the mysteries of this ancient species, they discovered that the shark's reproductive processes had remained largely unchanged since the time of the dinosaurs. The pregnant female was carrying a litter of pups, each perfectly adapted to survive in the unforgiving depths of the ocean. Number 4. The Nightmare from the Deep. Local fishermen in Krabi, Thailand, made a startling discovery in 2020 when they caught a fish that looked like it belonged in a horror film. The creature's gnarled, wrinkled appearance drew comparisons to the infamous fictional serial killer Freddy Krueger from the A Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. The fish, measuring approximately 20 inches in length, had a face that looked as though it had been badly burned, with a gnarled and disfigured visage that sent shivers down the spines of all who laid eyes upon it. Its most striking feature, however, was its pair of piercing, almost malevolent eyes that seemed to stare directly into the soul of anyone who dared to look. As news of this bizarre catch spread, locals began to speculate about the true nature of the creature. Some believed it to be a manifestation of evil, a cursed being that had emerged from the depths to terrorize their peaceful community.
Right. So, and if he flicks, just hang on to it, okay?
Others sought a more rational explanation, turning to the scientific community for answers. Marine biologists eventually identified the unsettling specimen as a stargazer, a type of fish known for its unusual appearance and venomous spines. Stargazers are ambush predators that bury themselves in the sand, waiting for unsuspecting prey to swim by before launching a sudden attack. Number 3. The Gentle Giant. In the peaceful waters of a fishing farm in Champagne, France, a British angler named Andy Hackett landed the catch of a lifetime. a massive goldfish weighing in at an astonishing 67 pounds 4 ounces. The fish, nicknamed the carrot due to its vibrant orange color, was so large that it took Andy nearly 25 minutes to reel it in, leaving him breathless and trembling with excitement. The carrot, it turns out, was no ordinary goldfish, but a hybrid species known as a leather carp, which is a cross between a common carp and a koi. These fish are known for their impressive size and brilliant coloration, and are highly prized by anglers and collectors alike. According to the staff at the fishing farm, the carrot had been a resident of the lake for more than 20 years, having been introduced as a juvenile by the farm's manager, Jason Cowler. Over the decades, the fish had grown to truly enormous proportions, outstripping even the largest specimens of its kind. Number 2. The monster in the river. October 2016 marked an unforgettable day for a band of fishermen navigating Alaska's treacherous Chena River. Deep in the heart of the wilderness, their peaceful excursion was shattered by a chilling sight. A bizarre creature more fitting for a horror movie than reality emerged from the frigid depths before their disbelieving eyes. At first, they thought it was just a rope, tangled in the ice and swaying in the current. But as they drew closer, they realized that this was no ordinary piece of debris. It was alive, and it was massive. As the fishermen watched in amazement, the creature began to move, its long, sinuous body undulating beneath the water. Some swore they could see a head, with piercing eyes, and a gaping mouth filled with razor-sharp teeth. Others claimed to have glimpsed tentacles, writhing and grasping in the murky depths. The video of the encounter quickly went viral, sparking a frenzy of speculation and debate. Some claimed that the creature was a hoax, a clever piece of CGI designed to fool the gullible masses. But others were convinced that this was no mere trick of the light, but a genuine sea monster, a creature of myth and legend that had somehow found its way into the rivers of Alaska. Number 1. The costly mistake. For one unfortunate fisherman in Sydney, Australia, a simple mistake turned into an expensive and environmentally damaging blunder. The man, whose name has not been released, was preparing for a day out on the water, eager to cast his line and reel in some fresh catch. But in his haste and lack of attention, he made a critical error that would cost him dearly. Instead of filling up his boat's fuel tank, the fisherman accidentally poured over 132 gallons of petrol into a rod holder.
Look how much petrol!
A small tube designed to hold fishing rods in place. The petrol, which cost over $500, quickly spilled out of the rod holder and into the boat's interior, creating a dangerous and potentially explosive situation. To make matters worse, much of the petrol also spilled onto the ground and into the water, posing a serious risk to the delicate marine ecosystem. Petrol contains a range of harmful chemicals, including benzene and other hydrocarbons, which can be toxic to fish, crustaceans, and other aquatic life. The fisherman, realizing his mistake too late, was forced to call in a professional cleanup crew to deal with the spill. The crew worked tirelessly to contain the petrol and prevent it from spreading further, using specialized equipment and techniques to minimize the damage to the environment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.